Deadly Premonition 2, it's here. If you don't know, or if you're watching this on YouTube or something, I recently streamed Deadly Premonition Origins. That my stream is, archives are also up on the channel that I have linked in the boxes below the stream. And this is the sequel. I've been waiting for this to come out since it got announced last year, and I cannot believe it's here. I've heard it runs at a horrible frame rate, and I am just ready to dive into this craziness that is this game. Hopefully my audio is good. I did a new audio thing now, so I'm basically did a very good audio setup. I was doing a really dumb audio setup before, where I was monitoring my output. I was using an audio output capture for some reason, and that really wasn't the best thing for me to do. I figured out I could just, monitor the Elgato and just hear it that way. So, and y'all should be hearing the game audio right now. It's a nice little tune, like that. Alright, let's see what we got. Character names on? Oh, okay, that's weird that you can turn that off. Alright, ooh, we got control types. Alright, so the original did not have this, so that's nice. Let's see, what do we got? L is vision. So this is kind of like the first game, I believe. Switch slot, that's new. Oh, okay, yeah, up and down over there. And then fire, punch, dash, and dodge. Okay. Let's see. Alright, I'm just gonna go with type A. I think that's what most people use. So, hey James, are you hearing the audio and everything? I messed with the audio a little bit, the audio settings. So, the way I was doing it before was really hacky. I don't know why I was doing it this way, but I thought the only reason you could hear the game, or for me to hear the game, sorry, is me having to make an audio output capture, and that would capture the audio on my desktop. So I didn't have to do that, basically. So what I did was I just monitoring the game right now, and we're doing that. So, oh boy, I'm ready. I've seen videos of this game. It is supposedly going to run like trash. Also, this is a sequel to the game and a prequel. So the actual big gameplay portion, I think, takes place before the original Deadly Premonition, but then I think there's sections of the game that take place after. So I don't really know, but that's what I think I've read online. If it's too loud or anything, just let me know. Or if it's too loud over my... What, the world? How does someone get chopped up that way? What?
God damn it. What a way to start the new year. At this rate, I'll be dead by Easter.
What?
Quiet down, Agent Jones. You're on the clock.
Ooh,
quiet down. Ha! You have any idea what you've done? I'd be half naked in Havana right now if you hadn't shown up. Soaking up some rays, surrounded by a harem of bikini queens, a mojito in one hand,
Queens, man.
and
All
a seafood-slathered
queens.
Havana-style pizza in the other. What did I do to deserve this? Does God hate me?
No. The Regional Bureau Chief merely issued a special order.
Oh. Yeah. How could I forget? A special order to rob me of my
the
well-deserved
person eyes.
vacation.
You want pizza? I'll buy you some pizza. You can find that junk anywhere.
Whoa! Hey! Hold on a minute. What did you just say? Pizza is not junk. Pizza is a sacred food, bestowed upon us by God Himself. You need to apologize right now. This is sheer blasphemy.
All right, bro.
Apologize to who? Pizza or God?
Ha ha! You think you're so clever. Maybe if you'd eaten pizza this morning like a decent person, you wouldn't have cut your finger.
What?
I only cut my finger because I couldn't find a left-handed can opener at the hotel. Normally, I would never make such an amateur mistake.
Oh, really? Well, if you want me to get into gear, then just feed me some pizza, okay?
We must act unfaithfully and abandon our ideals.
Probably should have let them keep talking. I didn't.
Agent Jones, don't let him take control of the conversation. The moment you let your guard down, he'll
Camera's so
strike.
close. Why? Why is it so close to them?
And no red, remember?
Hold up. What? What? I should have let them keep talking. Dang it.
It's open. Come on in.
It's pretty crazy. So is this where Zach's living now? Just in this random house in Massachusetts? The fuck? Is that him? Why does he look so much different? He looks so weird. Oh, he's straight up smoking weed. Like, that's straight up. He's getting high. What is happening?
You have questions for us.
What a way to start this game.
That's why you're here, isn't it?
Is he supposed to be older? I mean... I'm trying to think of, like, the time frame between the ending of 1 and this right now. Like, how many years have passed? Maybe, like, 18, 15? And, like, I can't move anywhere other than straight with her. It seems like, at least in this part. Just go forward, put my coat up, and, here we are.
Mr. Morgan, before we
Yeah,
question
no.
you, allow me to first read you your rights. Anything you say may be used against you in a court of law. Please keep that in mind as you speak.
What?
Do we have permission to film this?
Don't worry, my fairy. They're free to do whatever they like.
Something wrong, Mr. Morgan?
What?
I'm FBI Special Agent Aaliyah Davis, and this is...
Simon Jones. an analyst from the Boston branch. He's been monitoring us for years now.
Oh, hi.
What? These zoom-ins.
Seriously.
A Southern belle and a lonesome loser who can't catch a break.
Oh, jeez.
Quite the uncanny duo. You'd be the perfect stars for the latest video game.
Okay.
Isn't that right, my
You're
fairy?
getting a little too meta there.
How many years has it been since someone came to chat with us? Oh, but don't ask me about my fairy. That's a private matter.
What is he, Denzel Crocker?
It's hard to
Those
tell what
are
he's
fairies.
thinking, but my eyes can't be deceived.
Okay.
If he's hiding something, it'll come out in his face. Letters of appreciation from the governor and the Department of Justice. They're caked in dust as if he doesn't even care about them.
Whoa. Okay, that's weird.
This smell. It doesn't surprise me at this point, but it'll be problematic in court if they decide his testimony is unreliable. I won't get another chance to talk to him face to face like this. I need to get him to stop smoking that for a bit. Francis Zach Morgan. He was once an FBI special agent, an extremely talented one. At least that's what they tell me. Perhaps he was a little too talented. Excuse me, Mr. Morgan,
Oh, I gotta.
but would you please refrain from consuming that while we speak? I'm talking about... yes, that.
The reefer.
You don't need to worry about us. Don't get in our way, and we won't get in yours.
Unfortunately, questioning doesn't work like that. Our data needs to be consistent. Now please put out that stinking indulgence right this minute.
I feel like they started this game a lot more serious
What?
than the first one.
If we say no.
Then I'll put it out myself, using force.
Whoa, Aaliyah! This is Morgan's house. Besides, it's legal in Massachusetts for individuals to consume cannabis in the comfort of their own homes. And I mean, come on.
I don't think it is. I
It's
maybe in this
medicinal.
game it is.
Exactly.
Visions to acquire important hits that will help you proceed throughout the game.
You solved many difficult cases across your career. Utilizing your own unique M.O., you've expertly cracked cases that were otherwise thought to be unsolvable. According to our records, after joining the FBI in 2002, you quickly solved 2 drug ring-related kidnapping cases. In 2003, you solved the inside-out flesh skinner case in the suburbs of Pittsburgh. In 2004, the Jeffrey Dahmer wannabe case in Milwaukee. And also the stuffed human collector case in St. Louis that very same year. Then, in 2005, you coincidentally happened to solve the Lise Clarkson murder case while on vacation.
Yeah.
You went on to solve many other
It is.
cases after that, all of them seemingly inexplicable. Did you really
It
solve
seems
these
very
cases all on your
serious at the
own?
beginning, yeah.
There are no records of you using a wide-scale investigative team or working with anyone else. How did you ever accomplish such monumental feats all by yourself?
It was all thanks to our talented partner.
Partner. The FBI files show no record of you ever working with a partner. Do you mean you worked with some sort of unofficial
I
partner?
think when it gets
Or
to
an
the,
outside confidant?
part of the game, whenever you're actually playing as your
Our partner
it'll be a lot more
is
zany.
our partner. We've always worked together. Besides, Belle, you're forgetting one important thing. After the St. Louis case, we stopped by a diner on our way home and caught Thelma and Louise, two highly sought-after fugitives. Hey, Belle. Why are you dressed so handsomely?
It actually seems so old. Like it's only been like 14 years. He's
What
not
are you talking
that
about?
much older, right?
The thick black accessory wrapped around your neck. That's a male necktie. The color black represents confidence and interest in the self. And your decision to wear a male tie symbolizes your declaration of war against a predominantly male society. Or perhaps it's a psychological barrier meant to hide the weakness that dwells deep within your psyche. We admire your bravery.
I thought you retired from profiling.
Bullseye, huh? You're an easy one to read.
In order to think with society, a man must first gouge out his eyes and cut off his ears. Don't judge a book by its cover. For someone who's supposed to have been one of our best, you've got an awful eye for people. Or did all that smoke and kill all your little gray cells?
Okay, Aaliyah, that's enough. She's smart, but she's also more of a shrew than she lets on.
Agent Jones, that's sexual harassment.
So, Belle, does that barrier of yours also protect you from violent criminals?
What?
He's more dangerous than I thought. I can't read him. I'll just have to assault him head on with questions then. First, I'll try using the files on the table to shake him up. Stage 4 progressive malignant tumor.
Oh, he's got a
How do
tumor?
humans behave when they know death is just around the corner? And what if that human is also a high-functioning sociopath? Mr. Morgan, may I ask you a question purely out of curiosity? If it makes you uncomfortable, just let me know, and I'll retract it.
Belle, what's wrong? You sure put a lot of effort into that approach.
It's a question about death.
About this body?
Are you afraid of what's coming?
Think carefully about why we're smoking this. Then ask us again. Honestly, we're not afraid. Rather, we find it intriguing.
Intriguing.
Yes. Belle, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon in winter?
What?
No.
In the dead of winter, the Grand Canyon is terribly cold. Colder than you could imagine. A cold that no photograph could ever express. The sun. Powerless. And the temperature drops below zero, right in the middle of the day.
Meaning?
Meaning, you can't really understand something until you experience it for yourself. If you want to learn more about us, you need to gain more experience, Belle.
I gotta level up first.
An ornate antique chessboard. Looks like he stopped halfway through the game. But who was playing with him? That chessboard looks rather old, and you can't even buy those ivory pieces anymore.
Right. They were banned by the CITES Treaty.
That was made in France in the 1900s. We know it's in bad taste, but the weight of the ivory just feels so good in our hands.
You play chess alone?
Is that a crime?
No, but it's a hard game to enjoy when you're all by yourself.
He's probably just replicating famous games. Or trying to solve problems from a chess workbook. Right, Morgan? I may not look it, but I'm actually a bit of a chess nut myself.
What?
When I was in school, I used to pore over every issue of Chess Life, the magazine published by the U.S. Chess Federation.
I just find it funny it's called a U.S.
Well,
Chess Federation.
Unfortunately, your guess is completely wrong, Agent Jones. He isn't replicating a famous game, nor is he solving workbook problems. There isn't a single chess book to be found in this apartment. And I didn't find any chess-related websites in his internet history. He was simply playing chess.
When did she see his internet?
All alone.
So, what's wrong with that, Belle?
I don't understand it. How could a single human being seriously play as both sides?
You just publicly confessed to stealing personal data. Seems like that's a much bigger problem.
Oh no. Everything was done in a perfectly legal manner. We simply happened to intercept a handful of data being sent out from an unknown origin.
Ooh, now she's really trying to scare us. Did you hear that, my fairy? Serious nightmare fuel.
Really?
These files are from the case that took place just outside of New Orleans in 2005. The agent who handled the case was Francis Zach Morgan, and now he's sitting right in front of me.
Oh, maybe it did happen after.
Do you remember the homicides that took place in Leaky, Louisiana in 2005?
Probably before.
We solved that case.
Your report states the following. By coincidence, you encountered a serious incident in a town you visited while on vacation. You then decided to steal the right to investigate from the local law enforcement and took over the case. After several more homicides, you managed to apprehend the perpetrator.
Yes.
So basically like the first game,
Yes.
kinda.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. We stole the right to investigate from them, just as you said.
It all started when the body of a 16-year-old girl was discovered. You arrived in Leaky immediately after that, didn't you?
We just can't seem to keep ourselves away from dead girls.
Did you really visit that town just to take a vacation?
We don't know. If you already have the report, then we suggest you read it, Belle. Either way, that case is closed.
Closed. You sure about that? Don't you think this puzzle is still missing some crucial pieces?
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on.
confused.
No need to beat around the bush with us, Belle.
They found Lise Clarkson's body. It was hidden deep within the Clarkson Food Delivery Services cold storage warehouse.
After 14 years, we finally discovered the body of the very first victim. Do you know what this means? That's why we're here. The first victim in the case he solved, Lise Clarkson. This is a photograph of what she looks like now. How will he react when he sees it? The body that went missing for 14 years was suddenly discovered frozen in a warehouse. This is some kind of message from the victim to us.
We're pleased that her body turned up. Deeply pleased.
You claim to have closed this case, but now a lost body suddenly surfaced. Aren't you curious about the details?
Body or not, we already solved that case. Lisa's body can't change anything now. And it certainly has nothing to do with us.
I suspect the body was stored there rather than abandoned, due to the unnatural state it was found in. She was found frozen in a storage unit. Therefore, she looks exactly the same as she did when she disappeared. In fact, she's in such good condition that we can even determine the murder weapon and cause of death.
Well, good for you.
Even stranger is how unbelievably beautiful she looks. At first glance, few would guess she was a murder victim at all. She looks more like a piece of art, or a mythological figure from a painting.
This keeps getting better and better.
Better and better?
Isn't that right, my fairy? A corpse as beautiful as a goddess. Sounds just like our story.
Yeah.
That went okay. Now I'm sure that Morgan's hiding something. I may be able to get what I want if we go deeper into the documents. A halfway finished chess game. I think he was playing both sides by himself. If it was merely for entertainment, it wouldn't be a problem. But I know that every action he takes has its own special purpose, especially now that his remaining time is limited. Who is it? This my fairy character you keep speaking to.
You can't see her? Such bad manners. You barge into our apartment,
Emily, right?
yet you don't even care about who else is living here.
Dissociative identity disorder. In the past, it was known as multiple personality disorder. You were subjected to an internal probe only once during your career, correct? They suspected that you had DID, but you denied it, and no problems arose during your test. Is this how you dealt with the psychological profiler back then, too? Saying strange things, weaving unrelated matters together. Is that how you slipped through?
You're free to draw your own conclusions, Belle. But my fairy clearly exists. She's been sitting right there, on your lap this entire time. Hey! Stop it! No violence allowed in here, Belle. Wouldn't want to scare my fairy, now would we?
So York's just gone completely insane.
He didn't so much as twitch when he saw the picture of the body. He's even tougher than the rumors made him out to be. But I was prepared for that. And if my hunch is right, he's deeply intertwined with this case. Far deeper than what my superiors think. You may be wondering why we decided to unearth all these old files.
Everything happens for a reason.
It's a very long introduction sequence. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of preferred the first game because it just
The moment
Lise
Lise Clarkson's body was found, we did the best we could to start our own local investigation. But there wasn't much we could actually investigate due to the damage caused by the hurricane.
Then we assume you also questioned everyone who worked in the warehouse.
Of course, we questioned all the Clarkson Food Delivery Services employees who staffed the warehouse and its owner, but we still have yet to obtain any key testimonies.
Par for the course with a 14-year-old case, if you ask me.
Not to mention how bad the timing was. Most of the employees were on vacation.
So, you gave up on the investigation and came to see us instead. Remember what happened, my fairy? That warehouse. That man. So incoherent. Such a pain.
Hey, are you talking about the guy who managed the vault where Lisa's body was found? Yeah, I think he started working there in 2005. Remember, Aaliyah? You said he was a pain to deal with, too.
The large man, yes? No need to answer. If you don't want to. I'm sure you've already put him under surveillance. Textbook FBI protocol.
The person who originally admitted this report was his superior, Robert Abrahams, current chief of the Boston branch. According to Chief Abrahams, Morgan's got his own modus operandi. It's not something that others should interfere with. Well, Chief, look what that's gotten us into now.
What exactly happened? They just found a body 14 years
Isn't
after
there
the case
someone
started?
else you should have talked to before coming to us? Such as...
We were unable to reach Patricia Clarkson. You look surprised. I thought you already knew. After all, you visited Louisiana last week. We assumed you met with her during your time there.
We haven't been to Louisiana. Not in 14 years.
Is that so?
We've been right here in our apartment this entire time. That man is our witness. Aren't you, Simon?
He's right. He didn't even take a single step outside on Christmas Eve, which means that I didn't get to either.
Are you positive about that? I took the liberty of checking some airline records. Last Friday, the name Billy Bishop was listed on a morning flight out of Boston. This is the fake name you used to use as an agent, isn't it?
A mere coincidence.
Yet that's not all. That evening on the same day, a man with a large scar on his forehead allegedly purchased an '89 Cadillac from a small used car lot in Le Carré. He reportedly said he wanted something old, big, and strong. The owner of the car lot felt it was a strange order, so it stuck in his mind.
Our world is filled with mysteries, and they always have the most bizarre timing.
Incidentally, on the following day, an identical Cadillac was taken to a scrapyard in Trenton, New Jersey.
You can find that type of car anywhere. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Morgan's right.
A lot of talking in this
Everything
game
happens
section.
for a
It's been
reason.
half an hour already.
Even this messy room. There must be a reason for it, especially when it comes to those strangely tidy spots. They're practically begging me to question them. Poly-MVA supplements and a home IV kit. It's probably filled with highly concentrated vitamin C. He said that being on the verge of death is intriguing. But then why does he have such an elaborate home medical care setup? How does he truly feel? Do you like fresh vegetable juice?
Why would you think that?
There's a juicer in your sink that hasn't been washed yet. And do I smell the faint fragrance of baked
Man,
beans?
that texture is
You didn't use much
pretty
salt,
low res.
did you?
What are you implying?
You just told me that you find impending death to be intriguing. That confused me. When I look around your room, all I can see are the many ways in which you're resisting death. Poly-MVA treatment, highly concentrated vitamin C IVs, fresh vegetable juice, vegetable protein without salt, gallons of vitamin D milk for fat and calcium.
Where do we tap them on?
The ambivalence, yes.
What?
Two contradictory emotions, mixing, coexisting together. An adult, mature mind is never satisfied with only one response. It's common sense. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Probably that is going to be what triggers the thing.
DVDs are all over the place. I know that he's a shut-in, but this still seems like way too many for one person. And I've never heard of any of these titles before. a stinking indulgence, and a massive DVD collection. You must live a very comfortable life.
What's about watching movies?
We're retired, remember?
Retired in your 40s. I'm envious.
But who doesn't
Wait, he's
love
only in his
movies,
40s? He
Belle?
looks like he's in his 60s.
I'm not a fan.
Oh, that won't do.
Maybe his 50s.
You should dedicate all the free time you have to
I
watching
see.
movies. It's practically an unwritten law. Films guide us. Films are filled with every
I finished
important
Mad
life
World
lesson there
today, so that was
is.
fun.
Is that so?
For example, They Live, 1988, directed by John Carpenter.
Okay, here we go. Talking
That
about
film
movies again.
taught us a valuable lesson. Always put on your sunglasses before a fight.
You know, you've got a point. Movies teach us about everything we need to know. I learned about the right way to eat frozen pizza from Cobra. It's one of Stallone's best films. Before that, I wouldn't be caught dead trying to eat frozen pizza. I thought it wasn't fit for human consumption, but that film changed my life.
Wait, I've never seen
Simon,
that movie.
that has nothing to do with the film. You're just talking about pizza.
This room's a total mess. But certain
The
spots are
Illuminati.
perfectly clean. Is it just a coincidence? No. There are no coincidences with this man. Mr. Morgan, I found several spots in this room that look strangely clean. Did you tidy up a bit because you knew we were coming?
Those are sanctuaries. They've existed from the start.
Sanctuaries.
That's right. Sacred places. Hovels for pure souls, if you will.
Were there originally objects in those hovels? Something you didn't want us to see?
The soul's still there. We haven't touched a thing. But we know you can't see anything. Hey, Simon, don't touch the sanctuary.
You got mad.
Sorry.
That's a sanctuary. Don't ever touch it again. You've been watching us for 4.5 years, and you couldn't even figure that much out.
My bad. It's my first time actually coming inside, you know.
You're earning far more than you deserve then. What were you doing all day in that black Suburban? We thought wiretapping was your specialty. Don't tell me. Crossword puzzles. What do you think, my fairy? 4.5 years. All that time, and what does he have to show for it?
Crossword puzzles? No way. Come on, I thought you knew. I'm a Sudoku guy.
Agent Jones,
Oh, right.
he's completely taking control of the conversation. At this rate, we'll never get anywhere. I need to press him some more. Agent Jones. The briefcase isn't even that big. How long does he intend to keep that up? Does he have pizza menus stuffed inside there or something? Agent Jones, did you find the files?
Oh, you got the files out. Are there more? Oh, Greenvale. Okay.
Mr. Morgan, do you recognize these files?
Whoa! Ow!
We told you. That's a sanctuary.
Let him go! Assaulting an FBI agent is an obstruction of
told you.
justice!
We told you. Go. Ah! Say back. Stay back. Sanctuary. Down. Savannah. Ah! 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 Yeah.
Mr. Morgan?
He's turned into a dog. It's kind of sad how crazy he's gotten.
I cut my finger with that can opener this morning. I thought I stopped the bleeding, but it seeped through. How could I be so stupid? Everything should be fine now.
Oh, the red. The red set him off. So I guess the color red. Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense.
I'm sorry for being so careless. I made sure to read through your file and learn about your condition.
Because
The color red. Such an unusual thing to fear.
all that.
Please, accept my deepest apologies.
I'm sorry too, Morgan. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll never touch one of your sanctuaries ever again. And no more red, either.
Don't ever touch one again. I told them not to.
Now, may we return to our discussion?
Don't worry. I won't let them touch you again.
Strangely enough, this man has a fear of the color red, and I believe that fear is connected to the Greenville case.
Yes.
Soon after Agent Jones started monitoring him, he was ordered to go through Morgan's trash, but he didn't find anything. Morgan used this machine to cut up everything, from his mail to his supermarket receipts. Then he even went as far as taking out his trash in parts. This is a very large shredder. Is there something you don't want people finding out about?
Good question. But we never know when some curious civil servants may come and sift through our trash now, do we?
You're already retired. What are you so worried about?
It's just a simple habit
To the actual game.
from back when we were still on duty. Didn't they bang that into your head when you were up in Quantico? Some habits are hard to break, no matter how hard you try.
Here's another empty space. What does the word sanctuary really mean to him? Hovels for pure souls? Could you tell me what exactly the word sanctuary means to you?
Sanctuaries are sanctuaries. Nothing more and nothing less.
Oh, no, it may start off
That
slow,
doesn't
but maybe it'll
explain
just,
anything.
Pick up as it goes.
Why do you wish to know?
Just curious.
Belle, you're a much ruder person than you initially seemed to be. Don't you agree, my fairy? What do our sanctuaries have to do with the investigation? If you're out of questions, then how about just going home?
Hey, mind if I jump in here?
What is it, Simon? We hope you've got a real question for us.
Well, actually, I'm also a little curious myself. No one's supposed to touch any sanctuary, right?
That's what we said.
What about you, though? You can't even touch them yourself? Are there any extenuating circumstances?
What are you getting at?
I mean, I doubt if any of this really matters, but if no one can touch the sanctuaries, then how do you clean them?
I guess, yeah, he's right. How do you clean them?
The files on the serial killings that shocked Washington State in 2010, officially titled the Greenville
Oh, yeah,
case.
2010 was when that game
I never thought I'd
was.
take out files from a case I first heard about on the news. Mr. Morgan, I'd like to ask you some questions about this case now.
We don't want to remember that town.
I'm sorry, but there's no way around this. I remember hearing about this case on the news when I was still a student. A high school girl named Anna Graham was murdered and the FBI stepped in to take over the case. I also remember it becoming a sprawled investigation due to evidence found in the victim's throat. Is that correct? After that case, you went on sick leave for 2 years. And when you returned, you requested to be switched over to desk work. What happened?
That's a private matter. None of your business, Bill.
Were you traumatized? It's a common problem with prolific agents such as yourself. But there's another possibility that may make more sense. Perhaps you simply finished making preparations.
What are you getting at?
Thinking too much about something will always turn it into a problem. The Greenvale case. Don't you think it resembles the Leaky case?
Read the report. We have nothing else to say.
I guess it does.
I just need one more push. One more thing that can summon up the past.
Almost finished. I would assume the leaf.
A jar of honey with honeycomb inside it. There's nothing strange about it, but it still gives me a weird feeling.
That's royal jelly.
Huh?
You were staring at the jar, weren't you?
Royal jelly.
Do you find it strange that there's honeycomb inside? We wanted to harvest royal jelly in its most natural state.
What?
The queen's main food source, created from the worker
Now we can learn
bees'
about how bees make
secretions.
their honey.
It's a perfect food, filled with power, meant to fuel the birth of the next queen. By absorbing it into our own bodies, we too can acquire that power. Incidentally,
Wait.
did you know that all the worker bees are female?
No.
Guess they didn't teach you that at Quantico. Male bees are only born to inseminate, and they're born from unfertilized
Wait a
eggs to boot. They have short
Why
lives
would you learn
and
that
don't
in
even get stingers. Sort of feels like a glimpse into the future of our society, wouldn't you agree? Women are gifted with the power to conceive, give birth, and nourish their children. But men are consumed with the job of providing women with the chance to do so. If women no longer had to rely on men for the seeds of life, they would soon cease to desire them, we believe. Be careful, Simon.
Huh? Of what?
Your Belle's already stolen the reins from you.
Looks like another old antique. He collects milk cartons but treats valuable antiques like trash. What's going on in his head? The silver clock in that trash pile. Is that an H5?
That's right.
An H5.
John Harrison's fifth chronometer. Completed in 1770. After many years, he completed it and presented it to the Board of Longitude in order to end their feud with him. That's only a replica, of course.
You like clocks?
Clocks are amazing. Prime fruit of the human race's intellect. We took the invisible idea of time and manifested it in these.
Yeah, I love clocks too. Absolutely fascinating.
I disagree.
Oh? Why?
Time is valuable precisely because it can't be seen. Yet nowadays people can't tell what time it is unless it's measured in numbers. Talk about idiocy. I don't mean to side with the Board of Longitude, but remember, humans used to cross oceans with the stars alone. We have our eyes to read moon charts and study the sky. We don't need clocks.
What if it's cloudy or storming?
All you need is courage and a love for adventure.
Hear that, my fairy? Courage and a love for adventure?
Clocks.
Come on, Belle. Surely you know how many lives have been claimed by your pals' courage and adventure.
Hey, hold on a second here. That Board of Longitude thing. What the heck is that?
Gonna learn about the Board of Longitude.
I mean, I've heard of it before. I'm an FBI analyst, remember? I just sort of can't remember it right now. I know what it is, really. I'm telling the truth. Come on, Aaliyah, back me up here. Aaliyah?
A picture of a leaf. This isn't just a picture of any leaf. It's the most important leaf. The belief in truth begins with the doubt of all truths in which one has previously believed. It's time to get down to business. Mr. Morgan, please look at this.
Alright, this will finally...
What did we just say? We don't want to remember Greenvale.
This isn't a photo from Greenvale. Look closely at it. Former Special Agent Francis Zach Morgan.
It's a tree on the bayou.
This photograph predates Greenvale. It's from the Leaky case you worked on in 2005.
Red tree. Red tree.
Yes. A red tree. Greenvale wasn't the first place you saw one of these. The Greenvale case and the Lise Clarkson murder case. They're connected by these red trees, aren't they?
Red trees.
Answer me. What are these trees?
Red trees.
I want the truth. Tell me everything you know.
The red trees. You really did your homework. Well done, Belle. You're good. Damn good.
Are you ready to talk now?
Yeah.
I want to know what went down in
Not very subtle
Leaky
with
in
the,
2005.
Fine. We'll tell you. We'll tell you what happened in that town. Yes, it was that red tree. That red tree ruined my life. It was a sultry summer day. The sun comes down hard on you in the south, like a torrential downpour of demonic whispers. It all started back in that sweltering
That's a great
summer.
comparison.
We still had our best friend with us back then. The other me. My better half.
Jesus, that was a long intro. Oh my god.
Never a choice.
Uh-oh, was this a licensed
When
song?
somebody needs you,
Probably not.
you can't turn away. You're their only lifeline, just a hero, a bullet for hire,
Gonna see the title screen.
working alone. Always a voice, a cry in the darkness, an echo of pain that's been long forgotten, but it haunts me, my destiny, to be alone. There's a time when you see life for what it's gotta be. You should know they'll destroy you. They'll call to me to keep searching, walk alone.
What is this? What is that? That looks game volume is down a little bit, yeah. There we go. My volume is all the way up. I need to like scoot up a little more or like sit like this so it can pick up my voice better.
Zach. Zach.
Yes, hello. That's me.
Can you hear me, Zach?
Oh. Okay, I had to select it. That was weird. I thought it would have been automatically
There
selected.
you are, Zach. Sleeping again?
No.
Well, rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos. Isn't that right, Zach?
Sorry, I am turning my phone on vibrate. There. Oh, hey, that was cool. Like, warp the letters. 2005 summer. Very, like, movie themed with that, the big text or whatever on the... Man, the resolution on those buildings is pretty low in the background.
Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us.
Oh, you mean Kaysen? Yeah, he might be.
Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms. She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Leaky, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, David. If you want to know about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food related.
These intros.
Did you hear that, Zach? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Yeah.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter.
If you say so, still. Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old town like ours.
I do work for the FBI, but I didn't come here for an investigation. I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now, I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Folks say the killer used an axe.
Why is the camera so
Hell
close?
of an old-fashioned choice, if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
But shoot, I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it.
His face. He did like a slight smile, and then he just started talking.
You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex. Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seat. They own most of the land around here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know? They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
What do you know about the Clarksons' house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say, but I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place. That family ain't just some gang. They're a whole different kind of beast. They folks with real power. Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early days. Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster
PJ.
who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing. Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind. Is the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Shoot, mister, what you think? Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bonafide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they pissed you off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart. And when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the deep south for you. This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show. The sheriff's department ain't never seen nothing like this.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart, and The Pelican Brief, right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism. Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
What's your point?
Cat People. That's my point. Cat People, 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. The crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse of the 80s. The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers. I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it all.
I'm gonna have to see this movie now.
Understand? I'm talking about hyper-realism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of Cat People for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Wait,
Okay.
he came down here to
Another vital element of Cat People
Oh my gosh.
is the presence of Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell from Blue Thunder. Oh, talk about a masterpiece. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder, period. You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
Whatever you say, mister. So, what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts.
Yeah.
When you say it was like something from a TV show, what exactly do you mean?
Hey, mister. Why do you look so excited, huh? Like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale.
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes. But folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge on the bayou. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah, wasn't nothing like that. Just a weird altar.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all
Yeah,
cut up in
me
pieces.
too.
Scattered around the altar like.
So she was sacrificed.
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it.
By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen a car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, You've got a sharp eye. It's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Huh?
Stolen.
But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night, when you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere.
I guess,
That's precisely what it means to be an FBI agent. In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here. But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities. And I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
Another mode?
Want to hear the details?
Not really, but I'll listen if you want me to.
Then please do. After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car
Now
at
we
the
get this
airport.
whole
Whenever I visit the West
spiel.
Coast, I always rent a convertible, especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana. So, I decided on a brand new hybrid car with a fully equipped air conditioning system.
A hybrid car?
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars. Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we've finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start seeing cars that run purely on electricity. Who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley. I can see it now. It's the world of The Last Starfighter, 1984, directed by Nick Castle. It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG.
I've heard
but
of that movie.
I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized by the beautifully refined mech designs. It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself, especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Sorry, I got off topic. I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be found. I remembered exactly where I parked it, right between a blue pickup truck and a hedgerow. But when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it, and in its place, they left me this.
What?
A skateboard?
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach, someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wooden board attached to 4 wheels. Remarkable, don't you think?
So then how did you get here?
By riding the skateboard, obviously. Why do you look so surprised? No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first. But by the time I hit the 3-mile mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was a journey of self-discovery. Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
The Lise Clarkson case needs us.
Yeah.
Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell. Once we get home, let's
All right.
watch Blue Thunder again.
I should always think
I'm
about
already
McDowell.
looking forward to it. Aren't you, Zach? Zach, the searing light. These scents. It's the deep South. That was a fabulous breakfast. You're the
Didn't even
world's
eat it.
greatest chef.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Well, the tea was to die for, but I'd prefer coffee next time. What would a morning be without coffee?
Exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of the dialogue options with people because it's crazy. Oh, I have a quest log. Okay. Okay, that's really good. They didn't have that last time. Can't open anything. Whoa. Oh shit. I didn't know I could just punch her. Alright, don't go around punching random people. Just me, or does York look like bulkier in this one? I just wanted to see what would happen. Oh. Just punched him. I punched her. Oh yes, they got the classic song in here.
Sang Rouge. We've been chasing it all over America, but I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something now. Don't you, Zach?
God, I've heard this song so much.
I think it's about time we ordered a new briefcase. Yes, I know this one carries a lot of memories, but it's seen too much. This hole's from the shootout in Tucson. And this stains from Miami. Miami. Now that was a fascinating case. Billy, our perp, cut his own torso right in two, even with the help of the drugs. A feat like that still requires incredible mental fortitude. I was so impressed that I forgot I'd left my briefcase on the floor.
Hopefully.
Same floor his blood gushed out onto. I know, Zach, I know. Now isn't the time for a trip down memory lane.
Evidence organization? Oh, it's like profiling. What am I doing? Organizing evidence? What is that one?
An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states. Personally, I think it originated right here in Louisiana, and Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow. The 16-year-old girl who was murdered. Her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar. The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Leaky, and he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach.
Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot better than... Cleared it. Yeah.
You know, I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island, 2005, directed by Michael Bay. For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic.
Michael Bay.
An experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama. It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films. Are you following me here? This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did.
This man really thinks Michael Bay
is a turning point. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line, a genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound of that.
Island.
Don't you, Zach?
Michael Bay is not. What? Stevie Knox. Answer the door. Yeah. Wow, that's a hard quest. Link board has been unlocked. Oh, okay. So this links everything to everyone that I meet. I think it also has autosave too now. Did it just... Oh. The hell? What is this thing? still shave in this game? Yes. I don't even need to, but...
Due to the nature of our work, we've had to stay at hotels all over America. But Zach, do you know what I hate most about living out of a hotel? Shower pressure. The shower was invented so that human beings could quickly bathe in large quantities of water, correct? Yet there are far too many hotels in our nation that have showers with embarrassingly weak water pressure. It's an outrage.
Weak.
And I'll keep tooting my horn about this
What?
every chance I
Every
get,
hotel
believe
I've
you
stayed
me.
at, the water pressure's like really... Oh wait, he's showering? Hey, that's new, I think. I don't remember you being able to shower in the last game. Lots of store items. Okay. What do I have on me? Bunch of bullets. What do I got in here? Ooh, bunch of stuff. Alright.
I'm very satisfied with the decorations and the size of this closet, Zach. And it's even got a security box. What else could a man ask for? It's proof that we're still safely inside the fringes of modern civilization.
Yeah. That was brown. I'm gonna wear this suit for a little bit. Classic. It's the classic suit. Who's this guy?
Hey there, chef. What's cooking?
Hostess chef.
Chef. What are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David.
No fucking way. It's the same dude, and he's all the jobs. I love it.
I just heard from our
Oh my
chef
God.
that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Leaky is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes,
This is
sir,
what I was
of course it
wanting.
does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Yes, I would.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Lucare means square in French.
Ah. And
That's it.
that's it?
Yes, that's it, sir. Do take a gander at the town map in the lobby if it fancies you.
That's it.
It's beautiful, valuable, and old. I'm sure you'll understand once you see it. Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
The smile.
Did you see that, Zach? That was clearly David. Not a twin, not a split personality, just the work of a true professional. It's bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say, the job makes the man.
Yeah. I cleared this next mission. Check out the old map of Leaky inside the hotel lobby. This music. It's the same music. When I was driving all that time.
Do you feel that, Zach? Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him?
If I can taste the nicotine
His
on the
fashion
walls.
sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him.
Who? Was that a person? I thought that was a painting he was looking at.
Nice tie. Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
I have no clue what's going on.
Don't be a fool.
He looks like
you
a
know the answer.
voodoo dude, but like,
As for me, just call me Hungan.
how can York see this thing?
Hunga. The title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
What the hell
Do
is...
you comprehend the oracle?
What is going on?
The Oracle. Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
My religion hat.
Fell 10 maidens in the shrine of hunger.
I know.
Find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent, and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous zero. Got it. But what do you mean by otherworld?
Follow the oracle.
I mean, my stream's at 60. I don't know why I'm streaming at 60 for a game that's so unoptimized, but hey.
Zach,
Whatever.
did you hear all that? Looks like we've already taken our first step into chaos. But such is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle it piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself. Let's capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zach.
Yes. Let's. Alright, I can play again. Oh, I did not mean to do that.
Whether it's a restaurant or a hotel, the key to charming your customers is how you present your bathroom. I'm sure you feel the same way, don't you, Zach? Now this is the kind of bathroom a person can really get excited about. It might even trump the one we saw in that drug dealer's house in Austin.
What?
Remember? The art piece on display in there utilized the natural curves of human ribs in such a novel way.
Hold
It was
on.
truly brilliant.
Truly brilliant. Wait, do they have just one stall in this bathroom? What is this? What is this restroom? One giant stall. Let me check out the map to complete the next mission. Another cutscene. There's lots of cutscenes in this one.
Zach, this is Lucare. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say.
Yeah, I
You
know.
can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait. Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules.
I did it. Map has been unlocked.
Zach, what did you think of Hungan's oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old-fashioned countryside.
Yeah. He may have. I mean, he did visit Oregon.
Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now where in this town can one satiate their hunger? The hotel and where? And the 10 things that need to be knocked down. Simple, right? The answer is bowling. The shape of the bowling pin was based on the feminine form. The 10 maidens are the 10 pins.
Hold on, what?
But a place where someone can both eat and bowl at the same time.
I got it.
I'm skeptical as to whether we'll be able to find such a place in a backwoods town like this. Alexis's Diner and Lane. This is it, Zach. There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign. I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine and bowl there. Maybe even both at the same time. Nice job, Zach. I knew you'd be able to find it. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? I'm sure we'll find out later. First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zach. Yes. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous 0 than that. The Clarkson Food Delivery Services Cold Storage Warehouse. That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zach. You knew the answer from the very start, didn't you?
Oh boy, that's loud.
And how about that Hoongan? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Why is it doing it all in slow motion?
Sorry, boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel. If you're dying to smoke, head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Don't tell me. You're the
At
bellboy.
your service, boss.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams Deep South, actually. No, it doesn't. This is all his charm.
I love this dude.
So, if
He's my
I
new
want to
favorite
smoke,
character.
I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Oh, this is great. Mission 04, Mission 12. Can you talk to this guy? Oh, it's David.
Hey, boss. How can I be of service?
Oh, well, their stamina runs out really quick in this one. Jeez, like I was barely running. I'm used to the original. There's a lot. What's this? Oh, the eating place. Oh, I can call him to come in here. I want some food, okay. Yep, he's got 3 different accents. Alright. Guess I'm gonna head out. Where should I go first? Should I go to the bowling alley or the cold place? I'm thinking bowling alley. Alright, game. Taking a little bit of time to load there. Now I'll get to smoke.
Compared to non-smokers, smokers have a 4.7 times greater chance of getting lung disease. You know that means it's more likely than getting asbestos poisoning?
The risk of death from lung cancer is actually much lower than what you think it is. In fact, it's tiny when compared to heart disease, strokes, and pneumonia. We're always surrounded by easy ways to die, you know. Some people even get randomly struck by lightning and die right there on the spot.
Then I reckon you also know that secondhand smokers have 1.3 times greater the risk compared to smokers?
Of course.
So you won't mind paying the damages when I die of lung disease? How about writing that in a contract for me? You got a pen, right?
Why did it... The close-ups on the eyes.
I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Well, that's stupid. By the way, what's your name?
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Is something wrong with you? Adults ain't supposed to act like that. I only asked for your name so I can write it on the contract. You should have been able to figure that out if you're a real FBI agent like you said. Come on, sign here. Right here on the paper.
Just as I thought, Zach. This contract paper, it's a Sang Rouge wrapper. Sang Rouge is here, too. This must mean that Sang Rouge is connected to the Lise Clarkson murder case somehow. This is a sprawling case that spread across the entire South. It's within our jurisdiction, Zach. We'll need to steal the right to investigate from the local authorities at once. By the way, miss, what's your name?
Patricia Woods. But I gotta write my name myself, or else it won't be a real signature.
Tell me, Patricia, does this town have a sheriff? Or is it under the jurisdiction of the nearest city police?
Perfect timing. Well, go on and steal it if you want it. I was just thinking about how this is way out of my daddy's league.
Thank you for the information, Patricia. Okay, Zach, it's time to get to work. How should we seize control from the sheriff this time?
Wait, what? Oh. or should I go to the below zero? Because that's the 4th mission, you know? But I guess it doesn't really matter. So move the cursor. Oh, what's this? Oh. They're in like a tree now. Okay, this is much better than the original game. So yeah, I'll go to bowling. Oh, they have 400 achievements? Oh my god. Oh Jesus. I mean 100% of the first game basically, but if I want to do it here, oh my god. Guidebook. Oh. So tutorial stuff. Okay, that's a lot better. This game has a lot better,
Hey there. So, you're the fella from the FBI I've been hearing so much about. I'm Melvin. They call me the sheriff round here.
hold on a minute.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan? But call me York if you can. That's what everyone calls me.
Huh? Well, all right. Mr. York. How's that sound?
Fine by me.
I'm sure you figured this out, but our town's a small one.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks are already busy spreading gossip about how some FBI agents come to town. Now, I reckon you came from the city. What was it? D.C., L.A., or New York? Anywho, in the city, it's normal not to know who your neighbor is. Fella who moves in next to you could cook up a dozen folks in his backyard and no one would bat an eye. That's the city for you. Now, I never lived in one myself.
Wait, what?
But I visited them a few times, so I know what it's like. All pigs must die in the city of wolves. Yeah! Now, does that sound badass or what? I bet you'd... Hey! I know, CLG. I'm just trying to make a little small talk, that's all. Anywho, round these parts, everyone knows each other's name. So lots of folks get leery when they see an étranger like you. And since it's my duty to protect the town, I thought I'd stop by and say hello.
Zach, it looks like this sheriff is quite the happy-go-lucky type. A clear indication of just how peaceful this town is. Melvin, about the Lise Clarkson case.
I knew you were here for that case. Can't put one past the FBI. So they even got eyes on the smallest of towns like us, huh? Our world is filled with information.
Why was it so
and
close
it's
to his
all
mouth?
within their grasp. FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Oh my gosh.
The Lee's Clarkson case is connected to a top-secret case that we've...
I know. If you're fixing to take the lead, then go right ahead. I'm just the humble sheriff of a tiny little town. My jobs are to stop my neighbors from beating the piss out of each other and listen to old folks complain. Honestly, this whole murder case has been weighing me down. So I'm gonna give you my full cooperation, Mr. Special Agent, sir.
Well, Zach, that was anticlimactic. I didn't even get to use my secret weapon. Melvin, there's a cold storage warehouse on the southern end of town, isn't there? I'd like to get permission to enter it.
Say what?
You want to see where the body's being kept, right?
Oh, I get it now. Lisa's body, yeah. Now, that's what I call a special agent. You already figured that much out. But, I'm not too sure that, going down there at this point is really gonna help much, you know?
Explain it yourself, Daddy.
That's incredible. I don't believe this. Amazing. Did you hear that, Zach? They put the body in a cold storage warehouse. This is fantastic. Insanely fantastic.
Really? Well, how about that? Well, all right then. I'll head on down to the warehouse ahead of you and make sure we get permission to search it.
Sounds good.
The management company only keeps the warehouse open during certain hours, so you'll have to come during those hours. I ain't looking to create any further disturbances. So be on time. Got it? Come on, let's roll, CLG.
I'm gonna walk home, Daddy. I still got another stop to make.
Oh, if you say so, sweetie. She's a real sharp one, as you can see, so I try to stay out of her way. Well, all right then, York.
Whoops.
I'll see you at the warehouse.
I guess so. Oh boy. All right. I'm gonna head to the warehouse. Because that's the... Or I guess I could go bowling. I just want to do that first because it, well, I don't know. Bowling will be fine, yeah, I'll do that. How do I get on my skateboard? That's what I want to know.
Hey, you! You ain't secretly cutting kids up and sticking them into jars while you work as an FBI agent on the surface, are you? Or using your FBI connections to sell kids to child trafficking organizations?
I've arrested
Jesus.
people who've done both, but I've never engaged in either of those activities myself. Of course, I have imagined doing such things in order to learn more about the psychology of the criminals I deal with.
It was just a joke. Why are you getting all serious? And don't tell me what you imagine, or else I'll get scared of you for real. Hey, can I come with you? You signed a contract with me, remember? And besides, I'm kind of worried about my daddy.
Do whatever you like. This is America, land of the free, but I have one condition.
What condition?
Don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter. Zach, it feels like she's carrying something with her. Kind of, I can't leave her alone like this. You feel the same way, don't you?
I tapped A too quickly. Sorry about that.
By the way, Patty, what do you usually do when you're at home?
Is this an interrogation?
Oh, no. I just figured that since we're working together now, it'd be a good idea to learn a little more about you.
Should an adult male like you really be asking a little girl this kind of question? I feel like I heard a story about this sort of thing on the news once.
There's a time and a place for everything. You know exactly who I am, and I've also introduced myself to your father. Besides, you're the one who said you wanted to come with me.
I was just kidding, jeez. You're an FBI special agent. Why would I ever need to worry?
You shouldn't automatically trust someone just because they're an FBI special agent. One's profession and one's personality are completely separate things. For example, one special agent may fall spiritually in love with a genius criminal who enjoys the taste of human flesh.
That's Hannibal. You pulled that straight out of a movie.
Just because it's a film doesn't mean it isn't deeply rooted in reality. You can't judge people solely based on where they work or how they look. You need to think hard and decide things for yourself.
Fine.
So,
Whoa, what the? There we go. Pop this balloon. To the bowling alley.
Melvin called you a strange name. CLG, I think. What exactly does that mean?
Clever little girl. That's what it stands for, at least. It's nice that he made up his own nickname for me and all, but it sounds kind of weird. I wish he'd call me something normal, like just Patricia or Patty, you know?
Patty? Now that name's got a ring to it. I like it. How about Zach and I call you Patty from here on out?
Do whatever you like. Weirdo. You're heading to the warehouse, right? You gonna go straight there?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to talk to Zach. We're also on a mission to fell 10 maidens, you see. I'm eager to visit...
Oh, whoops.
Patty, is something wrong?
I got something to say. When I first met you in the hotel parking lot, you mentioned Saint Rouge, right? If you want to find it, maybe you should track down Professor R.
Professor R?
Yeah. Professor R owns the jazz bar on the other side of the bayou.
How do you know that?
Because.
Because, huh? Interesting.
Alexis has been unlocked. Owl's Nest has been unlocked. Time to go fell 10 maidens. Yeah. So it seems like York already knew about the body location. How did they just find it 14 years later? You know? Oh boy, we got that Zydeco music. That was a weird cut.
Ten maidens, Zach. Let's topple their hourglass figures and complete this oracle once and for all.
Oh, my Lord. I don't believe I've seen you around here before. Sorry, honey, but you can't smoke in here. Since you're with Patricia, I'm guessing you're some friend of Melvin's.
He's Agent York from the FBI.
Whoa.
This is Alexis,
Sorry,
the
that was
owner of
probably
this
way too
restaurant. I'm helping out Agent York in his investigation. We signed a contract.
Oh, my Lord. Well, ain't that something?
No, she's married to David.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
Oh my god.
Everyone's always called me that.
This is everybody.
Oh, my Lord. Well, that's got to be the strangest introduction I've ever heard. No wonder everyone in town's been talking about you.
Everyone's in town. I mean, I guess that's true.
I want a chocolate sundae, but no cherries. I want 2 wafers instead. Don't put too many Rice Krispies on it.
The
Oh, but don't scrimp on the chocolate syrup
bellhop.
either.
Or the...
Oh, my Lord. And what'll it be for you, honey?
Alexis, are these photos of the town?
Oh, you like my pictures? My hobby's collecting snapshots of what our town used to be like. So whenever someone gives me an old picture, I just put it up here on display. Our world these days feels a bit cold to me, you know? Just thought it'd be nice to help folks remember what it was like in the good old days.
Zach, did you hear that? The good old days. Even in a remote town that's already far behind the times, there are still people who yearn for the past.
She told me what was going on, you know.
What?
Lise, you don't need to try and hide it from me, honey. Last time she came here, she told me all about it. Some odd fella was following her around. Stalking her like.
What kind of fellow?
She said he had a really tall shadow.
How tall?
As tall as an oak tree.
Did that ring any bells for you?
Sadly, it didn't. I know just about everyone in this here town, but I ain't never seen a man who stands that tall. Maybe it really was an oak tree and she just mistook it for someone. Sometimes the silhouettes of them trees, with lots of Spanish moss hanging down, make me feel a little funny too.
I don't think so, Alexis. Lise said the shadow was following her, correct? That means she must have been stalked by a man as tall as an oak tree. If she had only mistaken an oak tree for a person, she wouldn't have described it that way. She might have said,
It felt like a crowd of people was staring at me.
Yes, exactly. She certainly wouldn't have talked about being followed by someone. Thank you, Patty. Zach, this data is all very intriguing, but it isn't the answer we're looking for. We came to knock down the 10 maidens, remember?
Oh, yeah! Booyah! Oh, I got a turkey!
Truly mesmerizing, Zach. This is why I never tire of small-town investigations. Same goes for you, right?
The way his mouth, like, instantly went to the smile.
Agent York, if you're fixing to bowl, you're gonna be disappointed. Mrs. Carpenter never lets anyone else use the lane while she's here.
Patty, that's exactly what I came to do. You see, Zach and I need to bowl down 10 maidens.
Fine, go on and try if you wanna, but I'm gonna eat my sundae. Hey! Are you nuts?
What's the most addictive drug in the world?
How should I know?
It's sugar, Patty. Far more people die from obesity and diabetes than from cocaine and heroin.
Why is he telling a little girl
Alexis,
this?
would you give her some milk?
Oh, my Lord. Coming right up, honey.
Sugar might be dangerous, but it ain't against the law. You got no right to take that from me, even if you are some FBI agent.
Actually, Patty, I do. We signed a contract, remember? I promised to protect you from all the evil in our world.
Hey!
Delicious. What an amazing chocolate sundae. Zach, I think we just
How did you
uncovered
eat
an
that now?
incredible treasure here. I
How
feel
did-
like I could eat one of these every day while we're in this town.
Oh, what? Just hurry and finish up your investigation already. Can't stand being inside this place without a chocolate sundae. Not even for a second.
Don't worry, Patty. I'll knock down those 10 maidens in the blink of an eye. You just wait here and drink your milk.
Meh.
I know. Such a dick. His name's straight Francis Dick Morgan.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, howdy, stranger. My, you're a handsome one. You came out here from the city, didn't you? I can always spot you city folk from a mile away.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Would you mind calling me York, ma'am?
Oh, so you are from the FBI. I thought as much. So sophisticated. Well, my horoscope in the paper today told me I'd be meeting someone
Oh
new.
no, she listens to
And
horoscopes.
those horoscopes never miss.
That's all.
They're the real deal. Well, one
Are they
even
now?
predicted when I'd bowl my first perfect game. Oh, no. Oh, could you stand a bit closer to me? Whew, that was a close one.
Wait, what?
If you move any further that way, you'll cast a shadow over the lane. Well, the sheriff did that once, and something horrible happened. The next time I bowled, I got a gutter ball. First time in 12 years. I was mortified. And I am going to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. In our world, some routines lead to good things,
Oh man.
while others only lead to the bad. So, you mustn't ever cast a shadow over the lane. Is that understood?
It's her routine, Zach. Understand? Just like us and coffee. Incidentally, ma'am, would you mind letting me use this lane too? I'm investigating the Lise Clarkson murder case. And I need to topple 10 maidens, no matter what it takes.
No, absolutely not. Not even the FBI can take my lane from me. I haven't given it up once ever since my husband passed away over a decade ago. I'll never break my promise to him.
But
I've been here
Now,
every
if you'll
hour
excuse me.
of every day. What the hell is this game?
Ooh, you like that? That's what I'm talking about. Who's your mama?
Zach, it looks like negotiations have failed. Now I'm afraid we have no choice but to force her to let us use her bowling lane. Yes, I know. I won't do anything illegal.
I know something like we'll find a way to get this problem out of
What'll it be, honey?
Is this place a bowling alley or a restaurant?
Oh my lord, what's wrong, honey? Can't tell the difference? It says restaurant right there on the outside.
And how do you explain that then?
That's so the customers can bowl while they eat. Convenient, ain't it? If you want to bowl, honey, you'll have to ask Mrs. Carpenter to open up the lane for you. But if you just want to eat, then all you need to do is call my name. Got it? Oh.
Okay, I gotta buy some beignets. You know.
So, what do you think of my Cajun food, honey?
No complaints here. No wonder you call this restaurant the best Louisiana's got to offer.
Oh, my Lord. Ain't that nice of you? I'm sure glad to hear you like Cajun flavor. It's nothing like that Creole food. And I'll be damned if it isn't the best eating you'll find this side of the Mississippi.
Hold on just one moment, Alexis. I always thought that both Creole and Cajun food were staples of the South. Am I misunderstanding something?
Not at all, honey. Cajun and Creole food are both staples of the South. They both have roots in French cooking, of course. But Creole cooking just ain't my cup of tea. Sauces of France combined with cooking methods brought in from Africa, mixed in with Spanish influences and Italian-style tomato sauce. Huh, when you smush all that together, you can't even tell what it is no more. Cajun food is pure and solid. The Acadians who settled in Canada brought it here from France in the 1600s. Then the British chased them off their land and they ran all the way down here. They walked straight across America, north to south. Finally, they found a safe haven right here in southwest Louisiana. Woo! We got everything you'd ever want here. Fresh fish, wildlife, even veggies and fruit. They used their knowledge of French cooking and added some spice and herbs. And then they threw in fresh local ingredients to create what we know as Cajun cuisine.
Interesting. Now I understand what you mean about the Cajun and Creole food being completely different. But I still insist that both are shining examples of delicious local food. Roots and history aren't that important, are they?
Oh, my Lord. You don't get it, do you, honey? Lately, there are shops all over the place calling themselves Cajun, Creole, or whatnot. But all they serve is a hot mess of different ingredients loaded with spices. And the tourists ain't none the wiser. I just hate feeling like folks are getting the wrong impression about Cajun food.
I get it now. According to your interpretation, Creole food is contributing to that wrong impression.
You bet it is. That's why I always make sure to teach all my customers what's what.
I didn't realize this was going to be like a very long dialogue.
What'll it be, honey?
Yeah, but I saw the map, and the map has Mississippi on it, so there's no way we're at the southwest. I got a side mission. Who's this guy on the wall? May I eyeball, please?
Excuse me, Mrs. Carpenter?
Stop! Not now! Can't you see I'm already in my bowling stance? What, are you blind?
Bowling stance.
Holy Mother of bowling balls, let me pick up this split. Holy Mother of bowling balls, let me pick up this split. Holy Mother of bowling balls, let me pick up this split.
Okay. I didn't get to see it.
That stance, always works on a split.
What?
Oh, yeah, never fails.
Zack, our new friend, appears to be a very superstitious lady. We should try and utilize this trait of hers in order to gain access to the lane for a bit. That was an amazing shot, Mrs. Carpenter. In fact, it may have been the most amazing shot I've ever seen. Speaking of which, where did you happen to find all those neat little items? The ones you used to help you bowl that split just now.
Like voodoo dolls.
Oh, you got a keen eye there, Mr. Special Agent. Taking a liking to my collection, have you?
Oh yes, a great liking.
I buy all my charms and power stones from Erzuli Frida.
Erzuli Frida.
Yes, it's a mystical establishment run by the Mirror.
The Mirror?
If you're interested, I can mark it on your map for you.
Yeah, please do.
Zack, this is it. Erzuli Frida. There must be a treasure trove of dubious trinkets on sale there. We may even be able to find something capable of changing her mind. It really feels like we're in the deep south now, doesn't it?
Alright. Clear. Alright, so now I gotta go visit another place. Well, time to leave. I don't even know why I'm saving so much. The game has auto saves now. I just get paranoid because the first game didn't have them. Well, hopefully this questing doesn't take too long, because I may stop after I do the bowling thing. So like once I finish the bowling side quest. I'm hoping it just doesn't keep linking to more stuff. You know?
I thought you came here to bowl.
Yes, I did.
Then why are you leaving? You gave up on trying to convince Mrs. Carpenter to let you play?
No, Patty, neither Zack nor I have given up on anything. We're just going to stop by Erzuli Frida.
Erzuli Frida? What do you want with that place?
What do you know about it, Patty?
It's a dumb store that sells stupid voodoo charms and even stupider souvenirs. No one who actually lives here would ever be caught dead there. Daddy even told me to steer clear of it.
And why is that?
'Cause they sell guns?
You mean Erzuli Frida is a gun shop?
It's kinda like a gun shop and a voodoo shop had a baby.
A voodoo shop? Thank you, Patty. You just helped me make up my mind. We're going to use the power of voodoo to help us steal the right to use that lane.
Who do you voodoo, bitch? Can I skateboard? Oh, here we go. My skateboard has durability.
Hey, Zack, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, It would have been shut up.
Oops. Yeah, it's Kingdom Hearts 2.
A voodoo shop. It's a voodoo shop.
Just looks like a dumb souvenir shop to me.
Of course it does, Patty. You're much too young to understand the true value of such a place.
Here we go, into the voodoo shop. What when I go in here, get something, and then bring it back to whoever? I wonder where I can get that rice. If I can get rice while I'm out here, then I can, like, do that side quest while I go back to the shop. Who is this person?
This is all kid stuff. It's just a bunch of charms. I'm allowed to watch TV and go on the internet, but I ain't allowed in here? My daddy makes no sense sometimes. You agree, right, Agent York? This is all just kid stuff.
Look at this, Zach.
Yeah, all these guns.
All the mysticism
all
of the Deep South gathered up into one quaint little shop. This is 100 times more exciting than the FBI evidence vault. It's a vast treasure chest.
What?
So much to study, so much to learn.
Excuse me. The mirror. What is this? That dude's teeth are black.
Thou art a seeker, and I see the object of thy desire.
What is it?
Doth this be what thou seekest?
I want it.
I could sell it to thee now. And only now. Surely fortune shall not bless thee with another chance.
What? Oh my god.
Purchase this, and know that thy wishes shall be granted.
Buy it. I don't care how much it is.
That's crazy. Even I can tell you're getting cheated, Agent York.
I disagree, Patty. This person can be trusted. I've been studying people for quite a while, so I can tell. That figurine is connected to our future.
My price is true. What say thee?
Why does that Chester look like it was drawn on? By the yes. An expensive purchase. How much is this? Oh, 30 bucks. That ain't that much.
I'll buy it.
Thou art a man of refined taste. I am loath to part with it, but 'twould be a fool's errand to keep it from such a keen-eyed soul.
What's wrong with you? No normal person would ever buy a piece of junk like that. Not even at a garage sale.
Marvelous, isn't it, Zach? What a treasure. I can't wait to use it.
Use it? Where? How?
Isn't it obvious, Patty? I'm going to put it in front of Mrs. Carpenter's house.
In front of her house?
Yes. I'm sure this figurine will stop her right in her tracks. And that'll give us a chance to finally topple the 10 maidens.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. And so is Zach. Aren't you?
I'm seriously wondering if I should quit helping you out with this.
Well, she's home. Oh, really? So I've gotta wait. Create a voodoo charm, what?
Verily, much shall serve thee well here.
There's crafting in this game? Yeah, I don't have enough. I don't have anything.
I can see it. Thou hath discovered the very purpose of my emporium. That is... me alone.
5 colored beads. Alright. So now I guess I can go to the freezer. Whoa!
That was close.
Well, look at you, all standing there like you're expecting me to apologize. Huh, it's your fault for not paying attention.
Who is this?
What?
Got a moment?
Can't say I do. I'm in a hurry here.
I won't take up too much of your time. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
I said I'm in a hurry, Peckerwood. Now get out of my way.
What kind of insult is that?
Patty, who was that?
Kalina Clarkson. PJ Clarkson's second daughter, and Lisa's mother.
Zach, we've found ourselves a Clarkson.
Oh, she's not here. My dolly. Oh, she's not here. My dolly isn't here.
One of the key persons in this case just came out of the woodwork to meet us. Now things are really getting interesting. Isn't that right, Zach?
Yeah, it is right. So I guess since we can't continue the other thing until 2300, I'm gonna go to the freezer shop. But I am gonna have to stop at like 9 at the latest because I think I gotta go. Julie's out with her friends tonight, and her friends came and pick her up, so I may have to go grab her or get her tonight from the house she's at. So, but I want to keep playing because the game's actually really fun. I mean, it doesn't run well, but there's lots of things to do. Like, it seems like there's a ton more quests in this game than the original. And the quest is so much better with the layout of the quest and everything. I'm not gonna have to use a freaking guide anymore on when I need to do stuff. So that's good. Let's see. Yeah, I need to get rice. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that later. Alright, yeah, let's go there. Oops. Okay, cool. So we're actually kind of close. So I can just... More to go.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondoggle, is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of Wither? Still too early to tell, but it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me.
Why is he so loud?
By the way, Zach, Boondoggle feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who appeared in a variety of different films. My mind must be overlapping him with the skeletal gentleman. Do you remember his name? Ah, yes, that's it. Scatman Crothers. In 1980, he played Dick Halloran in The Shining. And in 1983, he was in The Twilight Zone. He played the man who invited all those elderly folks into a strange new world. I knew it, Zach. There's definitely a connection here. But he's a bit too old. Scatman's more of a sage character. Our skeletal gentleman is a little younger, isn't he? Yes. They have different body types, but what about Forrest Whitaker? He made his debut in 1982 in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Then he was in Platoon and The Color of Money, both released in 1986, followed by Good Morning Vietnam in 1987. Oh, he was in Bird in 1988. What an impressive filmography. Across the 80s, he transformed his rough, young image into a more cheerful, wiser one. That's why the 80s can also be described as the decade that built up Forrest Whitaker's career. I firmly believe that he'll win an Academy Award for Best Actor someday. Yes, I'm sure it's right around the corner. He'll most likely wait until the time is right. Maybe around next year, then he'll unleash his best performance yet. So I can go on about famous actors forever, but we have a case to solve here. Let's table this discussion for now.
Like, where's my hunger meter? I don't see it in this game at all. You know, the meter that the sleepy and hunger meter that you had in the old game. Like, where is it?
Mr. York!
That's right, script. Yeah.
That was mighty quick.
Alright. Just like it was in the first game.
The special agent does it again. You sure don't waste any time. I bet my CLG's got a lot to learn from you. By the way, Mr. York, looks to me like you aren't packing anything.
I was on vacation in New Orleans before I happened to stop by here.
Well, shoot, that won't do. Here, I got something I think you'll like. I call him Mr. Alligator.
I like that's purple.
Yes, ain't he? It's a tranquilizer gun for the gators. And here's a radio. With this, you won't have to worry about any expensive roaming fees. Might take you a while to get used to him, but you'll get it.
Oh, so what does the radio do?
Try letting them rip a few times. Ain't no need to hold back out here.
I did? Oh. The missions are very, precise in this one. Oh, jeez. Shooting a dog? No. frame rate drops when I shoot a bullet. That's so bad. They're working on more patches, apparently.
Now this is an intriguing weapon. For a tranquilizer gun, it really packs a punch. But I'm afraid I'll decline. After all, this town is peaceful, isn't it?
Well, sure it's peaceful. At least the humans are. But the animals, are a different story. Remember what I named it? There are some real mean-ass gators out there in the swamps. And every now and then, they wander into town. One of them even went and ate a kid once. It happened a long time ago, but still, one chomp's all it takes. They swallow down every last bit of you. Poor kid's parents didn't even know what to put in his coffin. The worst part is, that taught the gators just how tasty we humans are. So now, those suckers just attack on sight. Man-eating crocodiles will feast tonight. In Blood Swamp!
You know he's fibbing, right? Gators don't attack folks. I never heard about no kid getting swallowed by a gator.
Actually, Patricia, you're wrong.
I'm what?
Alligators do attack people, and it could happen in any town.
Huh?
Alligator, 1980.
Any town? Hold on.
Directed by Louis Teague. It takes place in the Midwest, I believe. A teenage girl's pet alligator gets flushed down the toilet. Then, in the sewer, it feeds on the corpses of dogs that were used as test subjects for an experimental growth formula. After growing over 30 feet, it finally starts to go after humans.
Oh my god.
It's an extremely edifying movie. Back when I first saw it, I had a pet hamster.
Hey, Agent York. What's your first order of business? You're in charge now, remember?
Well said, Patricia. I nearly lost sight of my true goal. Melvin, I couldn't help but notice the name on the side of that truck. This facility is connected to the victim, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah. I reckon I better start from there. I'm gonna tell it to you straight right from the beginning,
it's so
Mr. York.
strange.
As you guessed,
Going from
this
this
warehouse is run by the Clarksons. The victim's father, Danny Clarkson, is the one who manages the whole place. Okay, but why did he choose to store her body in his own warehouse, right? Well, that's because there ain't no other place to store it.
Like in terms of performance and stuff.
Our town has a clinic inside a church, but no more. Whenever someone kicks the bucket, we just bury him in the graveyard right outside of town. But not this time. We got a murder on our hands this time. We need to give Lisa's body an autopsy and keep it stored, right? So we had no choice but to rent out a corner of this warehouse.
I see. So that's what led to the ingenious choice to store the victim's body in a facility that her family owns.
Anywho, this is where the real story begins. Truth is, a few days before you got here, Lisa's body went missing.
Missing?
Yeah. All of a sudden, poof.
Did you leave the warehouse unlocked?
I most certainly did not. I locked the whole place up and made sure no one could get inside. No one stole the original key, and I couldn't find any fingerprints at the scene.
So, in other words, this is a locked room mystery.
The body of a beautiful young girl walks at mid... Hey! All right, CLG. Reckon I should have told you about this earlier when you first said you wanted to come here. It just didn't seem like the time or place as I remember. Anywho, how about we call it a day and head back to my office? You can go through all the files there.
No, thank you. This is what I came to investigate.
But Lisa's body isn't here anymore. You sure?
That doesn't bother me one bit, Melvin. You see, I met a skeletal gentleman on my way here, and he was kind enough to give me an oracle. Okay, Patty. I'm going to try asking you that question again. What do you do when you're at home?
I watch TV and look up stuff on the internet, I guess. Ain't much else to do when you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Really? For some reason, I envisioned you working hard to take care of all the chores around the house.
Well, of course I do stuff like that too. But doesn't everyone? Why bother talking about it?
Other kids your age don't help out their parents. They're too busy talking with their friends on the phone or through emails.
That's stupid.
Emails.
I don't get why everyone's so obsessed with taking pictures of themselves. Then they send them to their friends just to get approval? Talk about cringeworthy.
How do you prefer to boost your self-esteem then?
I don't need to. I have my family. And besides, my daddy's the town sheriff. All I need to be happy is a normal life.
That's awfully mature of you.
Everyone else is just childish. I'm totally normal.
Okay then. So what do you do after you finish all your chores? You don't turn on CNN and pour yourself some bourbon, do you?
CNN? That's kid stuff. What I watch is way more adult than that.
Like what? Live sports?
You just don't get it, Agent York. Full House, Friends, Beverly Hills 90210, sitcoms. Sitcoms are an all-in-one package.
Oh my gosh.
Dreams, love, life lessons, science fiction. They've got everything you'd ever want. And some
guess.
cable channels just show reruns all day long. It's the best. Oh, but my favorite TV
See,
show
I
is
just-
this old one called MacGyver. The main character is cute and smart. I don't know his real name, but I like him. Oh, and I also like Gil Grissom from CSI. I just think it's adorable how he keeps maggots inside his fridge.
What?
Thank you, Patty. That was very informative. Well, what do you think, Zach? Her tastes are... they're a bit hard to describe. Wait, don't even say it. I know exactly what you're thinking, and I'm in full agreement. So you clearly love TV shows, but what about movies?
Movies?
Yeah, I know.
We
You
don't
went-
even have a movie theater around here. So I can only watch what I manage to
so
catch on
funny.
TV.
Like what?
For some reason, the only movie channel we get at home is the sci-fi one. So I just watch a lot of sci-fi.
Like what? What's the last one you saw?
The one with Schwarzenegger, where there's all these clones.
The Sixth Day, 2000, directed by Roger Spottiswoode. You must be very well
does he
versed
know
in
all
sci-fi
this?
if you can appreciate an Arnold S. film.
I thought it was way too easy for them to make more clones. And you'd never see a clumsy investigation like that on CSI.
That's right. It's realistic. Everything about that film is so realistic. It may be difficult for a child to understand. But, Patty, that's not your fault. All of Arnold S.'s films are filled with hyper-realism, you know. On top of that, Roger Spottiswoode is a director who excels in dealing with hardcore subject matter. Turner and Hooch, Stop or My Mom Will
Turner and
Shoot.
Hooch.
Each film
That's a great
features one of the
movie.
toughest tag teams you'll ever find.
Such a good
I can
movie.
see why it's beyond you, though.
No, what I'm trying to say is, Schwarzenegger's character was just a pilot, right? Why was he so strong?
It's okay, Patty. You don't need to try and act like an adult to impress me. I didn't understand the charm of Arnold S. films when I was your age either. You need
Arnold
to
S.
take your time and slowly reel the film in. Do that, and Arnold S. will greet you with a big, warm smile.
Whatever, just stop calling him Arnold S., okay? It's irritating me.
Zach, she's at a sensitive age. We both know full well that this is the official way to refer to the film star.
Wait, what?
But she isn't used to it, so it's bothering her. When in Rome, Schwarzenegger will greet you with a big, warm smile. Zach, my mouth feels weird. How many fingers do you think we'd need to count the number of people who actually call him Schwarzenegger? We'll just have to stomach it for her sake, Zach. Patty, we're investigating here. I think it's about time we cut the chit-chat and got back to work.
What? You're the one who brought it up, and you hardly even let me say anything.
It's a beautiful day, Patty.
Really? Seems kinda normal to me.
Now that you mention it, yes, it is a normal day. I just felt like saying that.
The
What?
official way.
You know, sometimes you really get on my nerves.
Alright, I'm done. It's 10:18 a.m. on the game. I know. It's even crazier than the original sometimes, like with some of the stuff he says. Because you have someone to talk to throughout the whole game, or at least in this part, you know? It's great.
You holding up okay, CLG? Sure you don't want to wait outside?
I'll be fine, Daddy. Just make sure you don't take your eyes off of him. He's so selfish and inconsiderate. I'm still not convinced he's actually a real FBI agent. Look, he's talking to himself again.
Zack, this is the ambiguous zero, the deep freeze. Let's hurry up and find that flying serpent, shall we?
Head to the morgue. What is this music?
Hey, Mr. York, you sure you want to keep investigating this place even though we know the body ain't here?
Of course, Melvin. The skeletal gentleman gave me an oracle, remember?
It's Skella what?
Ugh, he's just joking, Daddy. You can't take him seriously.
Huh? Well, was that really a joke, Mr. York? Well, I'll be. I see you've been hiding some real charm into that whole FBI routine.
Sorry, Melvin, but I'm dead serious.
This vision will help you find stuff.
Good God almighty. This place always gives me goosebumps, no matter how many times I come here.
Yes, it's quite the fun house. Truly a dazzling place. Meat entertainment. That's the only way to describe it. Woven together by life, frozen in time, a visceral, musical...
Symphony. We eat all this in order to survive.
Yes, truly a symphony. Life and death resonating together.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool? Whoa now, CLG. Since when were you interested in this kind of stuff?
What are you so surprised for, Daddy? I'm more mature than you are. I've seen way more realistic corpses on CSI, you know.
Oh, man.
At first, Zack, I was shocked by the notion of storing a victim's body alongside food. But as I gaze upon this hanging garden, I realize it's just another scene of violent, depraved murder. Yes. All we need to do is change our point of view, and things will expose themselves in utterly new ways.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. York, this is kinda, yeah.
Melvin, if you have something to say, then just go on and say it. Otherwise, you'll simply be insulting this beautiful landscape.
Yeah. You think this is beautiful?
Oh, yes. It's the abnormal world that supports our normal lives. I think that's wonderful. Don't you? Besides, look, Patricia seems to be handling this a lot better than you are.
Well, you see, I ain't too good with this grotesque stuff. Ugh.
Don't let it get to you, Daddy. Whew. Everyone has at least one thing they're afraid of. Even you. Right, Agent York?
Something I'm afraid of?
Yeah, that's right. You gotta have at least one thing. Like clowns.
Clowns are so funny. How could anyone be scared of them?
Zombies.
Love them.
A bucket full of worms.
I could squeeze them with my bare hands.
The sound of screeching glass.
Doesn't bother me.
Then...
They cling to your skin like putrid leeches, robbing you of much more than your vitality. The wet socks.
Melvin, you're a genius.
Let's get along here, Mr. York. Just looking at this stuff gives me the heebie-jeebies.
What the hell? Frogs. And that guy's sure doing a lot of work. He's just standing there. That guy's just like, look at this meat here. And you can hardly see that. What? What did that do?
Melvin, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you a personal question. In the hotel parking lot, when I first met you, the picture you had on your dashboard happened to catch my eye. Was that your wife?
Oh, her? Yeah, that's my lady, all right. Candy. Her name's Candy, the prettiest girl
Candy.
in town, which makes me the happiest boy. A shooting star landed in a rural town, right on top of a man who now has a meteor struck hard.
You always keep her photo with you?
You bet I do. The truth is, Candy's a little sick right now. She can't even leave the house no more. So I always keep her photograph with
Oh,
me.
jeez.
Kinda feels like
That's
we're
sad.
always
I hope it
together,
doesn't have a
you
sad
know?
ending.
I see. You care for your wife a great deal. But this means that
Yeah, that's right. My mama had me before she married Daddy. But it don't matter. He's still my real daddy to me.
Oh, thank you, CLG. And
That was sweet.
you're my pride and joy.
Well, Zach, isn't this a heartwarming scene? But there's one thing I just can't get out of my mind. Don't you think that photograph looked a bit too old? Perhaps Candy is already... No, let's not think about that. It might be a private matter, just like you, Zach.
Gotta move something. Those are all I'll need the legs for, but I'll need them later. There we go. Crime scene. After this is probably a good place for me to stop.
Here we are, Zach. The morgue. They stored the victim's body in a cold storage warehouse operated by her family. I'd love to shake the hand of whoever came up with that one.
Hey, Agent York. Did you just come here to laugh at rural officers who are doing the best they can? We don't have any special facilities like you people. What else did you expect us to do, huh? Don't compare us with city folk. This is Leaky. Or maybe you're just disappointed that you didn't get to see the bloated, decomposing corpse of a young girl.
Sorry, you're right.
Oh, jeez.
I went a bit too far just now. But don't misunderstand. I honestly think it's a fantastic idea. I'd never try and bully your daddy.
Better not.
Thank you for understanding.
Time to investigate.
These pallets are a mess. Looks like this area isn't used often. Still, the idea to store a body here, it's a novel, sophisticated idea, unlike anything I'd ever come up with. Look at the thermometer, Zach. It's at 10 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 12.2 degrees Celsius. This must not be the ambiguous zero.
Oh.
Boxes of the past, or presence of the future. Either way, this is a curious time capsule. Forgotten boxes. Looks like shelled headless shrimp. When were these boxes brought here? And when will they be taken away? Zach, can you feel it? The perpetual, unstoppable flow of time. Boxes that got left behind. I can't tell what's inside. What do you think, Zach? I'm gonna go with okra. Yeah, okra. I'm sure it must be okra. That's a staple of the South.
Yep. It's okra.
An icicle. Never thought I'd see one of these down in the South. Zach, can you see that? Look closely. That's right. There are 4 imprints in the frost on the top of this. It's hard to believe, but I think these are fingerprints. Yes, Zach, that would lead one to believe that the body napper is a giant who's over 10 feet tall. This frost is shaped like something we're very used to seeing. That's right, a body bag. Lisa's body must have been left here, but there are no signs that the bag was dragged away, so our criminal must possess monstrous strength. Zach, these are human footprints, and they're extremely large. Yes, Zach, I agree. These footprints must belong to someone who's used to walking around in cold temperatures.
Yes, I agree.
Seems like our
Bigfoot.
flying serpent isn't here. Is this everything, Melvin? There aren't any other rooms in this warehouse?
Squatch.
No
Found it.
special rooms.
Well, there is the luxury foods warehouse.
Luxury foods? Why didn't you say so earlier?
Just thought you wanted to see where the body... I just thought you were only interested in warehouse number 2. Besides, it's underground, so it's even colder than this. You sure you really want to go down there? You could darn well freeze to death. All life will come to an end in the icebound zone. You feel me?
Let's head there at once. I'm sure that must be where we're meant to go.
But what about searching for Lisa's body?
All we need to do is find a 10-foot tall man with monstrous strength. That giant knows where she is.
10
How are we gonna
foot
find
tall?
him?
But finding the flying serpent is more important right now. Now please, guide me to the luxury foods warehouse at once. These luxury foods are most likely being used in local Cajun cuisine. I'm so excited to see what we'll find. Aren't you, Zach?
Yes.
A 10-foot tall giant? All right. Now that one's gotta be a joke. Right, Mr. York?
Ooh. a save point. I think there's a save point back here. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna stop here because it's past 9, so I'm gonna be having to leave soon. But thanks a lot for watching, dude. It's almost a 3-hour stream, so I will see you later. I'll try to stream tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow morning or so before you go to work or something, because I definitely want to play more of this. Yeah, it seems like a really fun game, so like I'm excited to play it more, definitely. So cool, man. I'll see you later.